By the way, you won't find this strategy in any article or YouTube video out there, so pay attention. First, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set everything up step by step. The first thing you do is choose a time frame, and I suggest picking something in the middle. Not too short, but not too long either. So anywhere between the 15-minute to the 4-hour time frame works well. In this example, we'll be using the 15-minute. Next, you can also choose any asset or chart you like, because this strategy works on pretty much any market. In this case, I'm using the Solana crypto chart. Then, go to the indicator section and type moving average. Now you'll notice that there are actually different types of moving averages, but the one that I've found works best for this strategy is the simple moving average. Now click it twice to apply 2 of them to your chart. Once the 2 moving averages are applied, you'll see them show up in the corner of your chart. Now, go to the settings of the first one and change the length to 50. Then go to the settings of the other one and change the length to 20. So now we have a 20 period and a 50 period simple moving average applied to our chart. So, the first thing you want to do is look at the last 2 crossovers that formed on the chart. In this case, it's this one and this one. Then you want to check how those 2 crossovers would have performed if you had traded the signal. Would you have made a profit or had taken a loss? Let's start with the first crossover here, which was an upwards crossover, meaning we would have taken a buy or a long trade. But look at what happened after. Price instead reversed and dropped hard. If you had taken a buy trade there, you would have suffered a massive loss. So this crossover will be labeled as a failed crossover. Now let's look at the second crossover. This time it's a downwards crossover, and so the signal was to enter a short trade. This simply means that we're betting that price would go down. However, price did the opposite. It reversed and shot up instead. So this crossover is also labeled as a failed crossover. Currently, the last 2 crossovers have been a failure, which tells us that in this specific chart and time frame, crossover signals haven't been reliable, so we should avoid trading it here. Now, if we had traded the next crossover anyways, it would have ended up as another failed trade. This is because when one or both of the last 2 crossovers are failures, there's a high chance that the next one will also fail. So that brings us to the key part of the strategy. Before taking the trade, always check how the last 2 crossovers performed. For us to take a trade, both crossovers need to have been a success. If even one of them failed, you avoid trading the next signal.